That seems to work. So this class will be accessible to all levels, but we'll be going pretty quickly, and the assumption is many of you have done some boxing or just completed the JKD boxing course. So if it's going fast for you, just take what you can out of it, have fun, kind of like being on a water slide at a water park, and just know that it'll be safe, and it may be invigorating and thrilling, but you might not be quite ready for it. All right, so we'll begin with our Jeet Kune Do bow. And I believe everybody knows that to some extent. So let's bow in. Okay, so we'll do a really brief boxing warm-up together. Just start out with some twisting your trunk, and your hands are in boxing guard. So you got one hand glued to each cheek, warming up your trunk. Now we're going to do some guard circles. So while you keep your boxing guard up, circle your shoulder blades as big as you can without dropping your hands below your jaw. Loosen up those shoulder blades. Now go the opposite way, to the back. Boxing, I think, is one of the best ways to keep your shoulders healthy, because you can't box effectively if your shoulders are not in good condition. And now we're going to punch straight up to the ceiling, and then pull your elbow down to your hip like you're doing a one-handed pull-up. Punch up to the ceiling, pull down, punch up, pull down, punch up, pull down. Try to keep your shoulder blade down so you don't bring your shoulder up to your ear, bicep to your ear. Pull down, punch up, pull down, one more each side. Okay, now we're going to warm up our feet a little bit with some calf raises. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to alternate right and left, kind of like you're skipping rope here, but just keep your boxing guard up. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's warm up the heel toe sway. Like that twist we did at the beginning, but now you're popping up that heel to allow more power in your shoulder world, turn those hips and shoulders. Good. Now throw a straight punch to the side, and then as you twist, throw it to the other side. Don't punch through the window. You would never forget it. Now do an uppercut style. And now do a hook style. Pop your elbow up and then snap it back down. And now we're going to do some stepping to warm up the legs again. So just stepping on the balls of your feet with your boxing guard up. And when you're ready, add some straight punches. Snapping back to boxing guard like this. And eventually, we've been working on this in the boxing course, but eventually you want to coordinate your punch with your steps. So it's right, left, right, left. If you got that rhythm down, try with uppercuts or hooks. Otherwise, just keep going with the basic straight punching. Now let's speed it up. Okay, good. Last thing for our warm-up today will be coordination combination. We're going to go cross, cross, uppercut, cross, cross, uppercut, cross, cross, uppercut. Just keep repeating that combination. If you're just getting started, do it like I'm doing in a training stance, symmetrical. If you've done this before in the boxing course, try it in a lead. Cross, cross, upper, cross, cross, upper.
Is the thing gonna turn to, are you gonna reset on the same side? Or would it then be?
No, it's a continuous flow. Cross, upper, cross, cross. You got it. So I'm going to give you 60 seconds to just do this as best you can, and then we'll do a different combo. It's called coordination combo for a reason, because it's kind of challenging your coordination. So don't feel bad if you're struggling with it. It's meant to challenge you. Let's try number 2. We're going to go cross, cross, hook, or let me say straight, not cross. So starting training stance is the level 1 version. If you have done it already or you're experienced, you can try from a Baizhong stance, but I'll demonstrate it here. Cross, cross, hook, straight, straight, hook, straight, straight, hook, straight, straight, hook. So, and in terms of my heel toe sweat, now, when I was doing the uppercut, I was sitting on this leg. When I do the hook, I'm going to shift. Straight, straight, hook, straight, straight, hook, straight, straight, hook, straight, straight, hook. And even though I talked about hitting record, did I do it?
Yes.
Yes. We thought I did. Yeah, you got it, Sam. Okay, looks pretty good. And then the final option will be to combine the two. Cross, hook, uppercut. Let me say straight. Straight, hook, uppercut, straight, hook, uppercut. Straight, hook, uppercut, straight, hook, uppercut. You're shifting to the other side and do the hook. And you're sitting on that leg with the uppercut. And then you recenter with the straight, and then you shift with the hook. Straight, hook, upper, straight, hook, upper. And then if you want to challenge, try it in your Baizhong stance. Straight, hook, upper, straight, hook, upper, straight, hook, upper, straight, hook, upper. Good way to warm up your brain and your body for boxing and martial arts. Looks good, Kai. Got it. Some of you got the pattern really nice, but now see if you can shift your weight when you do it. Because when you shift your weight, that can be amping up the power of your punches. If your weight stays in the middle, you're not going to be getting as much as if your weight is shifted. Also, it could be evading punches, right? Because maybe I want to be off the line here or off the line here. So if you can do this while you're shifting your weight, that's a little bit trickier. Try it out. Last minute here. Good, Sean. Just make sure you bring your hands back to guard every time. Nice boxing, Jason. Yeah, you too, Peter. Looks good. Good, nice hook. So the only thing on this is different when you do that. Yeah, think about it. Yeah, so like here, and then same thing on the other side. Okay, that's time. Any questions so far? Keeping in mind I was at the warm up. All right. So who has boxing gloves to work with today? Okay. If you don't, that's okay. We're doing a lot of open hand stuff. Carefully with a partner. So this class is about breaking the boxer, which means you have to have some idea what a boxer is and how to play in the boxer game in order to break it, right? In order to break the game, you should know the rules of the game and have some comfort level in the game. Sort of like if we were in a motorcycle race and I gave you some like special booster in your motorcycle that made it go way faster, so you were going to beat me in a race. But if you don't know how to ride a motorcycle safely, it's not going to end well for you. So you have to kind of understand the rules of what you're doing safely. So that's why I think it's important to learn boxing, at least to a certain level of competency, in order to start thinking about how to defeat boxing. And same thing with grappling, right? If you don't have any idea how to grapple, don't be talking to me about how you're going to defeat a grappler with your special ancient techniques. Like you should be comfortable in that realm. So that's what we'll be looking at tonight, is using some of the self-defense techniques from Jeet Kune Do and Kung Fu versus boxing. Okay. So we're going to do a couple of partner boxing drills, which are going to be similar to things we've done in the boxing class, but different, but similar. We'll do that for a few minutes to warm up to boxing with a partner, and then we'll work on some counters to boxing. So before we get with a partner, I just want to explain the two or three different categories of techniques or principles we'll be using to break the boxer. So here, can I borrow you? We'll demonstrate on a real boxer. No, just kidding. Here, stand here. So the weak points of boxing and a boxer is they have to have gloves on, or they train with gloves on, and they don't do anything below the waist, right? So essentially the principles we'll be using are if you hold out like your longest jab, and I hold out my longest jab, it's like, okay. But if I suddenly have this weapon, which is fingernails in the eyes, I actually got an extra couple inches there. So extending the weapon is one principle that we'll be using. Obviously, going below the waist is another principle that we'll be using, which could be with the hands or the legs, right? And the other one would be the vital point striking. So when you have big gloves on, it's not going to be the same as getting a finger in the eye. And if you watch any mixed martial arts, UFC, you know, with just about every fight night now, they have to stop the fight if someone accidentally gets a finger in the eye. And it's like a huge equalizer, right? So it's a very powerful tool for self-defense. And that's why it's not allowed, because it takes very little effort to do some real damage to somebody. And it's not sportsmanlike, but that's why it's for self-defense and safety, and it's not for competition. So those are the elements that we'll be looking at in a few minutes. Thanks, that was all. And so now you could get gloves on if you got it, and grab a partner who you want to work with the whole night.
Honey, I have a bandage on, sorry. Why you breaking it? I guess we'll just have to be like that. Or poke him in the eye. Poke him in the eye. Sorry. I'm not. I just you all
Maybe I should turn off the computer in the other room so it's not like echoing.
I turned down the volume a little bit, but yeah, maybe. That's a good idea. Okay, here's the first drill. This is going to serve as a nice warm up to boxing partner work, and also just like a very turbo crash course of like what is boxing and boxing defense. And these are not boxing gloves, by the way, just in case you weren't sure. But they do allow me to demonstrate some of the self-defense stuff and have gloves on. So, may I borrow you, Laura? Okay, so. So what we're going to do is a simple drill where your partner is throwing 4 straight punches, which is the lead hand first. That's called jab, and the rear hand cross, and then repeat jab cross. So everybody do that together one time. Jab cross, jab cross, jab cross. You do it in the air for now. Jab cross, jab cross. All right. So level 1 is I'm just going to go same side catch, almost like I'm catching her mitt in a glove, like baseball. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go back and forth. 2, 3, 4. Then I punch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Level 2 is to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's called evading or slipping. So you can block and you can evade. Usually evading is preferable, but you want to have all those tools in your arsenal. Then we'll go back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you've never done this stuff before, just start with level 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I punch Laura and she slips, my next punch is going to be where her head is. Okay, not over here or over here, but see, I see where her head is. I punch there. Most of you, if you haven't done this before, are going to do this because you're like trying to be polite. But actually, that's the worst thing you can do for your partner because you're making them bad at martial arts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just go back and forth like that. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Why is it same side versus like cross side area?
Yeah, and I think Jake knows the answer, but he's.
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. So if Laura does cross hand block, then she's out of luck for this 1, 2. Because if she does same side block, now she's got a hand to block this hand. But if she does cross hand block, then I've got a free shot right here. So we try to go same side block. Okay. All right, you got a couple minutes to practice that with a partner. If you are experienced, add a little bit of footwork to it as well. All right, go ahead. And guys online, you can just practice this in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4 attack. 1, 2, 3, 4 defense. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start with the rear hand parry because that's going to be a matched jab. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you jab. 2, 3, 4. And then, yeah, after you slip to that lead side, you're going to jab from that lead hand for this drill. Yeah, if there's any questions, just chime in, okay?
Is he on the crosses a little bit more?
Oh, nice.
I got something to rotate. pause for a moment, please. This, I think we're figuring this out naturally, which is great, but we don't have sparring gear on, we don't have mouth guards. So even though we are aiming at your partner's mouth, we're going pretty slow and relaxed and taking care of each other, so don't belt your partner in the face. Also, if you have smaller gloves on, like Sam, you should be going extra slow because those offer even less protection. Yeah. Okay, keep going. Let's do it. So for you guys online, I want you to try this, like Harry, like you're playing the bongos almost. So there's a rebound right back to guard. And I'm parrying from the outside here. So I come to the center and then back. That way I'm protected from the hook. And when I activate passively, I'm protected from the hook. And then when I'm active, I'm protecting the straight. And I'm right back to the hook. Which one's more dangerous? Sort of depends, but usually it's the hook. Or usually the straight is going to hook a little bit. Because the person is not very clean with their punching lines.
Very, very long time. Yeah. We're like, which one? Okay. My lunch work. I feel stable and my legs. Like I feel like easier movement from side to side. Too much.
All right, great. Any questions on that drill? All right, let's move on to the next one. So for the next one, we'll be working with 4 hooks. So let's all do this pattern for the offense in the air. We'll go lead hook, rear hook, lead hook, rear hook. Lead, rear, lead, rear. 4 hooks. Lead, rear, lead, rear. All right, and again, we're not trying to knock our partner's head off. We don't have headgear, mouth guards on. So just light touch, kind of 60% speed or less. So now for the defense, same idea. I could block all 4. I'm just going to get my arm, at least my glove up, and maybe my arm if I want to feel less of that impact. This is called a cover or tight cover or wide cover, depending how you do it. So we're going to do 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3. And I can roll with the punches a little bit if I need to. I just don't want to turn my back like this. Right? Because then I'm losing my balance and I lose sight of it. So try to keep eyes on the person. All right, so that's level 1, 4 covers. Just get your arm up. Level 2 is we're going to dodge the second 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your bob and weave. So it's like a little duck as you shift side to side. Then I'll go to Laura. 1, 2. She blocks the first 2, 3, 4, and then she goes back to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just back and forth like that. And if you're new to this, just stay on level 1 until you're comfortable. Any questions? All right, go for it. So you guys are going to be doing like a rear tight cover and then a lead tight cover. And you're going to be bobbing, weaving to the lead. So that's going to be a little bit weird. You got to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. You're going to roll this way and then go back the other way for the bob and weave. And then it's lead hook, rear hook, lead hook, rear hook.
I was thinking both of those times. I was thinking about whether or not when I did it, I could still see you. And I didn't remember. Like when you're like, am I keeping an eye out? Yeah.
One, two.
A little bit different. And you're really trying to organize. You have to work with like skills. Yeah.
Yeah. We do that slow mo.
Yeah, that's a little,
Yeah.
like I'm going this way.
Yeah.
Now I'm going that way again.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Got to get that guard up, Sean. You're getting too comfortable being at home alone in your basement. No one's punching you back.
Starting to get yay on it.
So it's tight. Whenever you're hitting that bag, the other hand's up, okay? All right, break. Any questions on that? Okay, we got one more to go, and then we'll do some of the counters, breaking down the boxer. So now we're going to go 2 straights, 2 hooks. Let's do that in the air together. So 1, 2 is straight, and then 3, 4 are hooks. Lead straight, rear straight, lead hook, rear hook. So we're just combining the 2 drills. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the defense. Here's the fun part. You get to pick and choose from any of the stuff we did. So maybe I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's going to be too advanced for some of you, right? So what I want you to try to do if you're a beginner is go carry, carry, duck, duck. That's your pattern. One more time. Carry, carry, duck, duck. And now I'm on offense. Straight, straight, hook, hook. And now if you're more advanced, mix it up. However you want. You got all those things to choose from. Back and forth. Any questions? All right, let's go for it.
Oh, fine. Thank you. Bye.
I like the idea of really incorporating that.
Especially high up.
Okay. Thank you.
Good, is equal.
Should have seen it way longer.
I think coming in.
We're both like,
That's what I
Well, one thing I gotta interject, this is like one essential thing.
I was just thinking, I actually think I want to.
Yeah.
I like that.
Step through.
Yeah.
Make it a little more like a light.
Yeah.
That ends up maybe good too. Let me do that properly for you. Like, let me be a good partner for you for once.
Yeah. Pretty slippery. All right, time.
There's all that water slide.
Yeah. Any questions on that? If not, you can take about a 60-second water break and then we'll get some counters. Bring them down the line. Any questions online? Okay. Yeah. I'm very good at it. All right, let's keep it down the boxer at all yet. We've just become the boxer, but that's the first step. So let's kind of package these together. We'll start out with above the waist techniques, which may be a little simpler to do. So I'll give you a few basic options to work on with a partner, and then I'll give you one more advanced option in a few minutes. But what we're going to be doing is simulating that poke to the eyes that I showed on Ian earlier with your glove by just lightly tapping the forehead, as long as your partner's cool with it. Basically like they have a housefly or maybe even a mosquito on their forehead. So any harder than that, not like there's a mouse on the forehead, or like a bat. Just like super light, like they shouldn't get annoyed, really. Depends how easily they get annoyed. But, so that's my ability. Let's just do a few back and forth here. Take turns. I'm getting annoyed. Oh, that was so what I'm doing, the reason that happened is because you came straight out. I'm coming down a little bit. That takes that element out of it. So try again, less than that.
Also, like, I'm having a hard time with my range.
I have long arms.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the concept. Now, that's called BLG and Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun Kung Fu. It means finger jab. So of course you could intercept with that. Jeet Kune Do means way of intercepting fist or attack. So if Laura's like, hey, I'm a boxer and I'm gonna fight you, but you haven't punched yet, you're just kind of talking trash. And I'm like, oh, and I just go like that. You know, will that hold up in court? I don't know. Sort of depends. But that's an option. Darn it. Okay. Now, so that's option number one. Option number two is to do a riposte. Now we're using fencing terminology. And that can work with either hand, inside or outside. So Laura goes to give me a jab, and I can riposte like that. I do that block we did earlier, but I do that. That doesn't really work with boxing because after I do this, this punch is too weak to stop her next punch. So that's why you don't see that as much in boxing. But if you're poking them in the eyes, it works great. So that's called outside riposte or noi pak sao. I could also do it to the inside, like that. And then I could also do it against the cross to the outside. And then I could also do it to the inside, which is a little trickier, but you can do it. Okay, so that's your riposte, 4 options there. And then I could also do the time hit, which is the same time as the attack. That's called a split, where I block to the outside, and this one comes at the same time. Again, this doesn't work in boxing because this doesn't really have any juice behind it. Sometimes you'll see this to the ribs, but we're going right to the eye, so I don't need the juice behind it. And it could also work against the cross, split, time hit. Okay, so we got the riposte with the same hand, and then we've got the split, which uses both hands. So I know that's a lot of information for you if you're new to this. And if you are new to this, I want you to just try the outside riposte first, which is what we did already, the outside parry, and then just tap the forehead. And then try the other hand. Outside parry, tap the forehead. Otherwise, you can try all 6 options, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, any questions? All right, go for it with your partner. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you want people to try first?
Yeah. Thank you. Hold on, break for a second. Izzy had a good question, just a second too late, but I want you to calibrate first, like Laura and I did, tapping each other on the forehead and making sure that it's an acceptable level where nobody's getting their head shaken around. Okay, so once you're dialed in with that, then you start the techniques. All right, let's go. Got about 5 minutes to work on these here.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good, Jason. Nice job. Good job, Sean. That's good. I like your guard staying up now. Good. Good, Kai. You got it. And you got that rock skipping on the water effect, which is really cool and a little bit more advanced. Yes.
It's a little harder to get to the inside of the cross.
Yeah, when you're done.
I think one thing that would help would be turning. Yeah, just a little, yep.
I thought when I said fencing.
Oh,
Yeah. Casual that. Yep. And it's gonna come kind of towards it. Yep, because this is like in between. Yep. That one I like to do a little slippage action too, so that I feel like it will allow for me, so that I feel like the grass on my cat. You wanna do some more, or do you wanna randomize? And I'll just tell Jeff our I was like, which one is she gonna do? I guess. I was like, which one of us? Yeah, that's the thing. This is gonna be hard. Yeah. Yeah, let's do really have no desire to do the inside one. I think I'm gonna force myself here. Okay. That was not it. I just flopped. It didn't do any flop, but that's okay. I don't know, so I figure I'll just run. That I like, it gives me human style vibes.
All right, great. We are running short on time. Here's the plan. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes, but I want to show you the little bit more advanced one. If you want to try it, otherwise you'll have just 2 more minutes to keep working on what we just did. Okay. So this one works with boxing gloves on, and it works in boxing. It's just pretty hard to pull off because it's I don't know. It's just takes more finesse, but it works, and it works in sparring. But it also works great for self-defense. So with the cross punch, we're gonna block with the outside, circle to the inside, and then here you can land a tight hook or you can land across, or you can do what's called a raking heel Jeet, where you're going sideways across the eyes with your fingernails, which is nasty. So I'm gonna block here, sort of like we did before, and then I'm gonna do a circling movement to get to the inside. So that's where it gets tricky. So I'm going from the outside to the inside. See how my elbow floats up? And that kind of helps me get around with that wrist movement. Then I can either do a tight hook, I can do a cross, or I can do the raking heel Jeet. And I'm just trying to thrush her bangs to one side. But your bangs don't exist. So any questions on that? Thank you. All right, you got 2 more minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Break those to the side.
You pick whatever you want. Start with the side.
So try it out with the boxing
Oh, yeah.
footwork, guys. So like here and then using your hook or your cross or your raking heel Jeet. Because it's not going to be as linear again. It's like coming straight in. It'll be a little bit more of a turn it over. Yep. It's like a really short hook.
There's those bangs.
Good, so good.
I was like, I punch now.
You're doing a little more work than you need to. Yeah, you're bringing your shoulder online a little more than necessary. Yeah. Or we no, that's what we need.
I just wanted to shred so I went cast on it.
Yes. Very less talked about.
Oh, yeah.
And the nice thing about that one too is you can roll away from.
Good, thanks.
Get my sedan. Oh, I couldn't remember.
Try to do that one again. Try to get really good first. All right, great. Any questions, anybody? Because we only got 8 minutes to go. We're gonna try to end on time here, so let's get to the last set. No questions? You guys got a question? Good, all right. So here we go. Now we're gonna focus on below the belt, which is definitely a term you've heard about, probably from boxing, because it's illegal, because it's dangerous, and nobody wants to do it. But we do, for self-defense. So there's a couple of ways to do it. One is just to keep your distance, and as the person's advancing and punching and trying to throw power, you're just gonna kick right up field goal up between the uprights. You could use the toe of your shoe or boot, or use your ball of your foot if you got flip-flops on or something. But basically just hands up, keep your distance, boom. And then take that opportunity to either follow up, counterattack, or run away, or whatever. Grab your tactical flashlight, whatever it may be. So that's an easy one, okay? Up between the legs. Careful, don't really do it. Too hard. Here's another option using the legs. We're gonna do what's called a Jeet tech, intercepting side kick. So this one's harder to do well, because I have to get my structure right. If I don't land this right or have my structure right, or it just come through and punch, keep punching. So try it again, ready? Coming at me. Just punch my hand, keep punching my hands, and if I miss, I'm eating those punches. So this one takes a lot of accuracy and precision. So I'm trying to go kind of like right on or under the kneecap with the blade of my foot or my shoe, like that. And even if I land it just right, my structure is off. Push through it here. I'll get pulled over. So my structure has to be right and the accuracy has to be right. So let's do it again here. So now you could probably roll me over there. I haven't practiced enough since surgery. Okay, now I've got a pretty good feel like you're against the wall.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So that's what I'm going for. That's not going to take her out of the fight at all. So again, this would probably be an opportunity for me to do some eye pokes and get out of there or something. So that's another option. So option one was hands up, keep your distance, kick to the groin. Option two, flax that knee with good structure, stop their momentum from coming in. Still got my hands up, follow it up, get out of there. Okay. And finally, option 4 and 5 will be against the hook. This one's harder because you have to avoid the attack. So going under the hook, we already practiced that. But while we're down there, you're going to do little back fist to the groin or grab or punch or whatever. So punch comes in, squat, like you're killing a fly. And hopefully you get the effect you're looking for. Okay, and it could be versus this hand. Back fist here maybe, or maybe I hook through here. Punch. So you can either punch through as you move, or you can, either one, or you can back fist as you go down and then come through. Okay, so that's a lot to work with. And I'm going to show you one last one. Who knows the shoulder roll? Good, a lot of you know the shoulder roll, so throw me across. Shoulder roll, I'm getting back, rolling, protecting with my shoulder. Nice JKD technique is shoulder roll and now tech to the groin, and then counter from there. Shoulder roll, now tech. Because when I shoulder roll, my weight goes 100% in this leg, or close to it, and this leg's pretty kick. So there it is. And then follow it up. So I just gave you 5 techniques. Give you 5 minutes to play around with it. If you're a beginner, just start out with this one. Nice and slow and careful. And then maybe try against the hook. Woo. Nice and slow and careful. And then more advanced, carefully doing the stop kick, G-tech, and the shoulder roll, now tech. Any questions? All right, 5 minutes, have some fun. Thank you. Any questions online? All right.
So I'm most interested in and then I'm also trying to bother reading that way for benefits with this hand. Yeah, because then that one's loaded up.
That looks really good, Ian. That looks like you practiced that before. Nice.
Right here, we're going just slow. Yep, and try to time it at the same time so that you can use the momentum gently as you do. And
Okay, let's try the.
Nice, Jake.
Double down right on that.
I mean, that's pretty lovely.
That's what I do.
Maybe the.
Yeah, so I guess the hook, so getting a hook.
I'm gonna start just a little further away. Just a little sooner.
Good, Peter. That's awesome. Good, Sean.
Like straight leg as you can, so that it's like a super solid.
Yeah, you got that back fist going. Nice.
This hip is picking up a lot. Try to just have the legs come up without the hip picking up too, so that you're still really grounded in that back leg. Yes. Yeah, that feels different. It's like if that hip comes up. Yeah. Right. I like to think about like everything being actually mixed legs. Because then I feel like I've got like drilled it into the ground and anchored.
Yeah, that one's so hard to do because, yeah, like I said.
Yeah, definitely. There was one specific one that felt like pretty solid. Do I try the other side? See if that feels any better or worse. Pretty different. Yeah, that one.
This one, yeah.
Structure.
Because I'm going on to my right leg probably, and my left leg is just like.
Exactly. Yeah, it's almost, it's like just following.
All right, great. Hey, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you coming here and learning with me. And thank you for helping out, CJ Laura. Does anybody have any questions on any of the content from the class? I did successfully record this, so I will make it available. If you want to go back and review, that'll be an option for you. And yeah, again, stay safe this holiday break, and we'll be back on Monday the 3rd, January 3rd. That's when we're back. So have a nice, safe holiday break, and thank you for joining us tonight. Let's bow out of the class.